Thanks.
All right, we got Josh Kelley for you guys.
Hey, Josh.
What's up, man?
You got it?
How's camp gone so far?
To be honest, it's going pretty good. I feel like for me, I'm getting better. I feel like, I'm learning. Second year in the offense, things are slowing down. And I think for me, I'm just getting in a rhythm. And, for me, I'm just learning. Nothing's always perfect. It's just like I'm learning. I'm continuously growing. I'm not thinking so much. So, yeah, it's been so far so good.
Talk to Derek Foster. You mentioned you put on some weight this offseason. Yeah. What was the thought process there, and what was your sort of approach to the offseason from that perspective?
Yeah, so my whole goal this offseason was to become the best football player I could possibly be. It wasn't to relax, to wind down, to do all sorts of business activities, vacation. It was to become the best player I could be for this year. So, for me, I evaluated myself. I looked at my strengths and weaknesses, and I felt like I could put on some more muscle, add some more explosiveness. So, I took the program I had seriously and just attacked it, and nutrition was huge. Like, you don't get this size and this strong without being on nutrition on top of your recovery. So, yeah, it was a lot of work.
Did you work with someone specifically?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Shout out to Chris Bernard and Jake, Overtime Athletes. They're located in Tampa, Florida. So, yeah, man, these guys really, had a whole program for me specifically, and I just attacked it. But yeah, no, they're great at what they do. They train a lot of pros, so yeah.
How'd you find them? Did someone on the team recommend them? Or?
Yeah, actually, we had a guy on this team who, in the past, who've worked with them, Rayshawn Jenkins, and he's worked with them a lot. And I would always find videos of them on Instagram, YouTube. And I'm like, oh, this is some dope stuff.
Yeah.
So then I actually DM'd him on IG. I was like, yo, I'm really a fan of this. And then he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, facts. And then he was like, all right, cool. No, I DM'd Jake.
Oh, you did Jake.
Chris Bernard, yeah, I DM'd them. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm really a fan of this. And they're like, all right, we got you. Send me your numbers, send me your height, weight, your goals, and boom. It's cool.
And how is that translated onto the field here in training camp? Just
the
explosiveness, the strength, that kind of stuff. Obviously, you're not tackling for real.
Right. No, it's been a huge translation. I feel myself, for me, I'm just boom, more explosive, more faster, stronger. You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference. There's a correlation between the weight room, nutrition to the field, injuries, all that stuff. There's a correlation to it. So definitely, man, it feels good. They got me right, but, I'm still going. I'm still attacking that program. It doesn't stop, So.
Josh, were you down in Tampa, or did you do that?
I did it in Cali mostly because, we had OTAs, we had off-season. So, yeah, it was more so he sent me the program. But, yeah, one day I would love to go over there for sure.
Just to check it out.
Yeah, his gym is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's funny.
Josh, another thing Coach Foster mentioned is that pass protection is now a strength of your game. And then we talked when you were a rookie, when you first came in, just how much of a learning curve there is with pass protection. How much do you feel like you've grown in that area, and how did you sort of make that improvement happen over these 3 years?
That's a good question. I think my first couple years it was more so figuring out who am I blocking. I think when you're out there, you're seeing so much. You're seeing safety rotation. You're seeing linebacker leverage. It's all right, I'm who do I have? What's the play? Where are my reads? Now it's boom, I already know who I have, so I can play faster. And then for me, man, I put on some strength. I'm not trying to absorb contact. I feel like when I'm watching tape, I see a lot of guys just go up there and absorb. I'm trying to deliver a blow. I think that's helped me.
Coach Foster's mentioned that he tries to simplify things for you guys in terms of pass protection, maybe focus on one specific key, linebacker leverage, and that way you can determine if he's coming or not. Simplifying things the way Coach Foster has. How has that helped you with pass protection?
Yeah, no, it's been big. I feel like he's always talked about three biggest things: close the distance, deliver a punch, and then finish. That's it. The more distance you have between you and the linebacker, it's not good. But if you get onto his chest, you get onto his body fast, and you can deliver a punch, then you can create more separation and the quarterback get the ball out. So, yeah.
It seems like you've been working on it in the one-on-one, just attacking the linebacker instead of waiting.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. That's huge, man. If you can't protect the quarterback, you can't play running back NFL. Simple.
I think you're on your third special teams coach now. Just how has Ryan kind of helped you refine your game in that area? Yeah,
no, he had to sit down with me early in the offseason, and he told me, look, he was just you're too good of a player not to be on special teams. And, for me, that was I agreed with him. I feel like I need to take this phase way more seriously, attack it, and just go harder. It's effort. Mostly it comes down to effort and want to. So for me, man, like I said, got my body right, and I was just like, let me study this. Let me watch extra tape on just special teams. You know, it's huge. So, yeah, he's been a great help. He simplified things out. He's been in Minnesota for years, so he knows special teams in the league.
They still have you on punt production as one of the up back guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something I've been working on. Footwork, delivering a blow, getting into coverage and making a tackle. So, yeah, I'm excited to showcase that, too.
Coaches have been pretty open about the fact that this is an open competition for the second running back spot. Do you appreciate like how open they are? That like, listen, whoever distances themselves is going to get this job, and then also, you know, how have you been approaching that competition through camp?
I love it. I feel like for us as competitors, honesty and truth is how you get better and how you know where you stand. You know, like for me, like he made it clear day one. He was like, "Look, this is a competition." You know, for me as a competitor, we love it. You know, we love it. I like to challenge myself. I like to try to prove myself. So yeah, man, like he's made it clear, and I'm just trying to embrace it. You know, I'm not worried necessarily about the end right now. I'm just worrying about how do I get better, preseason, attacking that. Like that stuff will take care of itself. But yeah, you got to embrace it to be a competitor for sure.
And just how excited are you to get into the preseason game and actually be able to break some tackles?
I'm huge. I'm really huge and excited about that because, you know, we do tag off. We do hitting against my teammates all the time. But, you know, we actually get to go against another team. And you don't get to hold back. You get to actually let loose. So, yeah, man, it doesn't matter if it's 3 or 4 reps or 50 reps. I'm excited about it. It's an opportunity. You got to take advantage.
Anything else?
Awesome.
Thanks, Joshua.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Take care. Thank you.
I got you.
Larry, how different has this offseason and this training camp been for you compared to last year when you're obviously coming as a rookie, even through the draft process, and it's a bit of a whirlwind?
I would say as far as last year, it's just, you know, you go through a whole process of the draft process and you got to catch up on the offense. But I feel like this offseason I've been completely dialing myself in with the whole offense, special teams, and getting the feel of actually what's going on. And that takes time, you know, coming in as a rookie, you're trying to catch up on everything. You know, everybody, you know, catch on to things in a different time. But this offseason I've been really locked in on everything, man.
When they drafted other running back, does that put pressure on you? How do you react to that?
I think the whole room, you know, as a whole, all of us never look at it as a pressure deal. It's more so you being your best version of yourself every day. We all know the qualities that we have within ourselves. You know, all of us play different. Austin doesn't play like JK. JK don't play like me. Isaiah don't play like, we all don't play like each other. We all have different qualities that we bring to the room. So it's more so of every day we help each other out. We say, you be the best version of you and go out here and play ball. But it's never, I would say, pressure, because every day we come in, we go to work, and we help each other. You know, that's not what we do in the running back room. We don't cause a hostility. We don't do none of that. Everybody comes in, everybody helps each other, and everybody, when we get on the field, that's up to you. But as far as coming in, it's no pressure.
I talked to Coach Foster, and one thing he mentioned was, you know, obviously you have a ton of lower body strength, leg strength, using that more when you run. And I'm just curious how you've gone about it, like applying that feedback from Coach Foster into your game so far in training camp.
Because I would say, you know, when you put on the pads and, you know, we go live, right, I can really, you know, express that in my game, you know, this Saturday. But, you know, it's been something I've really been, you know, trying to get back to, you know, in my game as far as my senior year in college and all that. But now in a different league now, you got to know how to make business decisions on when you're running against certain guys. So Khalil Mack, you don't want to, you know, you make sure you might want to juke that guy. You don't want to, you know, test him. But as far as my lower body, I've really been taking care of it this offseason, working on it, you know, doing a whole bunch of different qualities of lifts that can get it right. You know, I've always been a lower body guy anyway.
Was that a challenge for you when you know, first got into game action in the league? Like, obviously, you're playing in the SEC, so there's some dudes in there, but just like the different level of like the size of the guys, the speed, and maybe like having to switch up your running style a little bit so you're not trying to run over.
I would say honestly, the SEC compared to the NFL, as guys that being big, it's probably like not even, but it's there. Close. Like it's pretty close. Yeah. But as far as the mental aspect, totally different. I would never put the game of the NFL with SEC. No, totally different. But I would say with the size differential, I'll probably say it's about, you know, 2 off. But right. It's I would say the SEC and NFL probably about close when it comes to size.
Sure.
Larry, how much work are you getting on special teams, and are you on any different areas maybe compared to last year?
Last year, you know, I was returning. I was off returner. I was on punt. I was on punt return. I was on everything. I would say now it's more so with our new special teams coordinator, Coach Fick. He's really just a great special teams coordinator and makes us play fast. You know, he makes the game, whatever our assignment is, simple, and then from there it's up to us. But I would say just this year I'm, you know, more so just knowing more what's going on special teams now. You know, I'm not a deer in headlights when you're rookie. You know, some guys come in and they never play special teams. I played special teams in college, but this game is different in the NFL. You got to lock in the hidden yardage is in special teams. So I would say just this year, just being locked in on knowing what's going on, what we need on punt, what we need on kick return, because it's a lot of hidden yardage, and that determines whether you win the game or not.
That's good. Awesome. Thanks, Larry.
All right.
So it's not a great time to go on vacation to Europe, and yet it is.
How you doing, everybody?
Good.
Brandon, what was your impression of how practice went this week, just kind of the overall, what you guys got done and maybe the intensity or vibe out here?
Yeah, I think our guys are ready to compete against somebody else. I think we're at that healthy point in camp where our systems have been installed, you're playing against the same people, and there's that extra physicality that comes with just playing against the same people all the time. And so I felt like it has been really healthy competition, especially coming off the scrimmage, to have 2 really good days of practice. But I feel like our guys are improving. That's what I like to see the most, is that we're improving. And again, I think it got a little edgy this week on the practice field, and that's always a healthy thing, because I look at it as a sign of pride and performance. And again, I thought it was healthy competition back and forth. And again, I've been looking for that, for it to be even competition. And then we've done a lot of really good special teams work this week. I think building off the scrimmage, we've been able to really get some good special teams work, because that's going to be a big, important part of Saturday night. And I'm looking forward to seeing our guys compete in that phase.
A couple injuries to check in on.
Yeah.
Javon Campbell, I mean, he got banged up in the scrimmage, but do you have any further update on him?
Yeah, TC will be out for this game. We're looking to get him back next week, but he'll be out for this game.
And then Ty Shelby looked like he went down on Tuesday.
Yeah, we got good news on him. He's going to be out for this game, but we're looking to get him back. He's kind of, week to week. It shouldn't be anything like for the rest of the training camp, but probably we'll miss this game, and we're hoping to get him back for the Dallas practices, but we'll let you know about that.
And is Nick out for the game as well, Neiman?
Nick it's going to be like more of a game time decision. We really were trying to see how he did an individual today, and we're going to get an update here after practice, and then kind of go from there.
Do you have any update on Derwin James' contract negotiations?
Not yet, Lindsay. Not yet.
The bulk of training camp practices now in the rear view, and the combined practice coming up with the Cowboys. I mean, is that something you would like to have him out there for?
Of course we would like to have Derwin out there. But at the same time, as I mentioned, I think what's most important to us is that we get the contract negotiation right. And that's the first thing is just keep the main thing the main thing. And then all the football stuff will take care of itself. Derwin has been very patient through the process, and he's been a tremendous leader, like he always is through the process. I think he's handled it extremely well. I think his teammates have handled it extremely well. And, we're looking for good news soon.
As far as quarterbacks, Chase first half, Easton second half on Saturday, or
yeah, you're going to see both quarterbacks in the preseason, and it's going to be a real healthy competition between both of them. I like the way both of them are playing. I think it'll probably be similar to last season.
Any certain position group that you're looking to see on Saturday night?
Every single position group I'm looking to see. I'm looking to see our players come together. That's the thing about training camp, is you're going against each other all the time, and now you get to take the field together as a team. And I'm looking forward to seeing all 3 phases feed off each other and play the game that we expect to play, take the field the right way, and then you're always going to be looking for those players who are going to perform. And I think you see what's happening on a practice field or a scrimmage, but now you get to see them play in a real football game, and that's always exciting for a coach and as a team to see, your team take shape for this year, and this is our first chance at it.
I know you said the philosophy as far as who's going to play isn't going to change from last year, so we can assume, Justin Keenan, Mike, Khalil, Joey, those guys aren't going to play, but there are a few guys that might be sort of on the line.
Yeah.
Like, is Jerry Tillery going to play in the game?
Yeah, I think we're going to take this injury report today and make our determinations from there. But I think, we're going to try and play the guys in the preseason that we feel like need to play. And I feel like that it can help them. And as a result, help our football team. And, we do that on a case-by-case basis, and we do it on a game-by-game basis throughout the preseason. And I think that you'll kind of see that in the first game, and it may be different than the Dallas game. And we'll let you know, before game time.
How challenging is it with the preseason to find where you want to cut off your roster and who you don't want to play versus being able to field a team?
Yeah, that's a good question, Lindsay. I think that when you look at the preseason as kind of a marathon and that it's a long journey to get to the first game, we really want to take the preseason from the game's perspective and try and evaluate people that we feel like are really establishing themselves for a certain role, or there's a part of a competition that we really need to see sort of express itself. That's really what we want out of the preseason. And like I said, last year I think will be very similar to this year from that approach, but who's actually playing, it may be a little bit different than last season. And but we really want to make sure we take advantage of these games to get the right evaluation of these guys, and then the units within our football team heading in towards the regular season.
So with that Montreal Storm, will they play?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that you'll definitely be able to see both of those guys.
Since you guys will see the Rams in the regular season, does that change your approach on how you prepare for the weekend?
Not really. They're going to have the same approach as we do, so not really.
And then from the scrimmage, when looking back at the film, is there anything that stood out to you that maybe you didn't see at first glance from the sideline?
I don't think so. I think we covered it. I think our guys, the quarterback play really stood out. I thought our quarterbacks played really well, and I think our quarterbacks operated at a high level, threw the ball extremely well. And then I thought our skill position players came alive. Our receivers and tight ends, I thought, played high quality games and gave our quarterbacks a real chance to be accurate. And so I would say that was what stood out to me in the scrimmage.
Brandon Davis was pretty open about his struggles last season. Just what have you seen from him during this camp, and maybe how much do you want to see out of him Saturday?
Yeah, Mike's had a really good OTAs. I thought he improved a lot in the OTAs, and we saw a really good mindset within him. And then I think you can see a really good mindset with him in training camp. I thought training camp he's had really good consistency in his performance. He's improving in all ways, establishing a real role on special teams, which we feel like, adding him as a gunner possibility, we felt like would be a really positive thing for our football team, and we're looking to do that within our whole team, is having starters play meaningful role on special teams, him being one of them, and I think he's improving as a player, and we're pleased with his progress, and I'm certainly excited to see him compete against other people, but he's been a bright spot in training camp.
DeAndre and Joshua were talking about how much of Keenan's film they watch. I mean, dating back years and years to his rookie season. To have a guy like Keenan on this team that guys can go up to and bring that kind of stuff to learn from, what does that do for your offense and maybe just even for the overall morale and camaraderie of the team?
Yeah, I don't ever take it for granted. I try to tell our football team and point it out as much as possible. When you see Keenan practice the way he practices, a guy who's played so much, and there's a lot of miles, on those legs of his, and to practice the way he practices and then to perform like he does, it's just a great example for all of us. And I think when people are modeling your game, there's no greater form of respect than when people are trying to model something that you do. And what we're fortunate on this team is that we've got people in a lot of different positions that people are trying to model their game after, Keenan being one of them. And I think, when I was at other places, Keenan Allen was always one of the standards in the NFL at receiver. But I think he continues to improve as a player, and I think our players see that. Like, it's not just like, oh, it's the same old Keenan. It's like, no, it's a better Keenan. Like, Keenan's continued to improve, and I really appreciate the example he sets. And I think Dre and Josh are great examples of guys that are taking advantage of being with someone that's going to be looked at as one of the great players, you know, of a decade. And you know, I'm sure glad to team up with him every day.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Brandon.